The frequency of Tesla Cybertruck prototype sightings has been rapidly increasing as we approach Elon Musk's promised November 30th event, where actual customers will allegedly take delivery of their long-awaited trucks. Over the weekend, according to Daniel Golson at Inside EVs, Tesla chief designer Franz von Holthausen was seen driving around Southern California in a Cybertruck with a matte black finish. Something we haven't seen before, and he got to take a lengthy up-close look at it when von Holthausen brought the truck to a cars and coffee event in Malibu. Basking in the SoCal sun, this Cybertruck looked frankly horrible. Daniel Golson have been around hundreds of prototype cars in his career, ranging from early test mules to near-production prototypes. And he have never seen an automaker proudly present something of this poor quality, especially not this late in development. It is absolutely baffling to him that Tesla's lead designer would parade around a vehicle in this condition just weeks before deliveries of production cars are allegedly commencing, and even more baffling that he'd park it at such a public enthusiast event. This doesn't look like an early prototype either. Its details and finishes match what we've seen from other release candidate Cybertrucks that Tesla has been showing off over the past few months. And not a single thing about it doesn't look production intent. Tesla's Texas Gigafactory commenced pilot production of the Cybertruck earlier this year, and components like the lights, window glass, cameras, fender liners, and underbody trims of this prototype all look final. Late-stage prototypes can have essentially zero differences from the full production cars that consumers buy. Sometimes they're just the earliest ones to roll off the production line and fine-tune the process, getting driven by engineers and other employees to work out any kinks. Many of the cars that journalists are given to review are pre-production models, too. Will production Cybertrucks have better fit and finish than this one? Maybe later down the line. But with Tesla's quality track record, he have a feeling most early Cybertrucks will look just like this. What you see here isn't paint, but a matte black vinyl wrap on top of the Cybertruck's stainless steel body panels. Tesla recently announced a lineup of wraps available as a factory accessory for the Model 3 and Model Y, so there's a chance that this could become an option for the Cybertruck. Though Tesla hasn't said anything as of yet. He overheard von Holthausen say that he designed the car with a matte black finish in mind, so he just had the wrap applied. Hopefully this wrap job isn't an indication of what quality would be for consumers, as it was shoddily applied with air bubbles and pieces of vinyl visibly lifting and peeling off. While it fixes the stainless steel's reflection and fingerprint issues, the matte black wrap makes build quality problems even more noticeable. Some of the gaps between panels were big enough to stick a finger through, with no visible seals or trim pieces even for the front. The lower sections of the front doors were particularly bad, with big gaps both in terms of width and depth. All four angular fender flares were misaligned and ill-fitting, but each one in different ways or amounts, honestly and impressive. The tailgate had maybe the worst fitment of all and was uneven to boot, which is even more noticeable when the taillights are illuminated. Keep in mind that Musk told employees that all Cybertruck parts needed to be built to sub-10 micron accuracy in an email that leaked earlier this year. I'm not a human tape measure, but this Cybertruck certainly didn't seem to adhere to that standard. Now Tesla panel gaps are nothing new. Daniel Golson have seen production Teslas with worse fitment than some of this Cybertruck's panels, and they're far from the worst of Cybertruck's problems. The seam where the A-pillar meets the nose looks terrible, with visible overlap of the panels. Many of the edges look dangerously sharp, or at the very least would be painful to knock into. Plastic parts like the fender flares and bumpers don't look very durable either, not great for a vehicle pitched partially as a work truck with off-road capability. And then there's the ridiculous windshield wiper, which does cover a ton of surface area but sits vertically against the A-pillar without any sort of protective shroud or cowl. Perhaps most concerning is how thick the upright A-pillar is from the inside. This prototype's headliners seemed more well-sorted and a bit slimmer than other Cybertrucks he has seen images of. But it still has what is by far the worst forward blind spot he have ever seen in a new car. That triangular window ahead of the main pillar's support definitely helps a bit, but it looks legitimately dangerous. The Cybertruck has a short nose and front overhang, but there is so much space ahead of the driver taken up by a long, flat cowl that it can't be easy to see out of. Especially when dealing with the super raked windshield and the reflections it creates. Rear visibility looks awful too, both because of the bed's thick, long fairings and the short side windows. It's unclear whether the Cybertruck has a rear-view camera to be used when the tonneau cover is closed, as it cuts off the view out the tiny rear window. The only camera I noticed at the rear was at the top of the tailgate, and I couldn't tell if the rear-view mirror was of the digital kind. The Cybertruck does have blind spot cameras mounted in the front fenders, like what you get on other Teslas and cars like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Lucid Air. I do think it's pretty cool that the all-terrain tire option is a custom Goodyear with notches in the sidewall to accommodate the plastic aero covers, which look like the concepts and have spokes that extend over sections of the tire itself, but if the cover is even a little bit misaligned it won't look right. The first photos of the less chunky all-season option recently surfaced, and while the tire design is more practical, the design looks even goofier. One new to Tesla feature on the Cybertruck is the rear axle steering system, which he saw at work as the Cybertruck pulled in and out of its parking spot. To his eyes, it seems like the rear wheels will turn it up to 5 degrees, or somewhere thereabouts. Rear wheel steering is his absolutely favorite feature on new cars, so it's awesome to see Tesla jump on that bandwagon. Though it doesn't seem like the Cybertruck will match the 10-degree angle of vehicles like the GMC Hummer EV and Mercedes-Benz EQS. Regardless of build quality issues, he just plain don't like the Cybertruck's design. In fact, as the years have gone on and he have seen more of them in person, he like it even less. He appreciate the low-poly, cyberpunk-style design inspiration, but to him it's just far too simple and badly executed. Not to mention concerning from a safety perspective for both pedestrians and other drivers. The Cybertruck certainly has a ton of visual impact in real life and looks like nothing else on the road. But the production model possibly shrunk in size and lost the dramatic proportions of the concept from 2019, and details like the rear diffuser are way more ungainly. 3 weeks out from the delivery event, we still don't know any concrete specs or details about the Cybertruck. Final pricing hasn't been announced either, but we know the original $40,000 base price is no more. The Cybertruck isn't even prominently featured on Tesla's website, and all of the imagery still shows the concept from 2019. In Tesla's Q3 earnings report, the company estimates annual Cybertruck production to be 125,000 units, with Musk saying production will be slow until 2025, but that number could increase to 250,000 per year at some point. Musk also warned the Cybertruck will be enormously challenging to produce and make profitable. Don't even get me started on the claims of bulletproof body panels, which are even sillier when you realize the truck doesn't have bulletproof glass. Yes, this is still just a prototype at the end of the day. But at this stage of development, this close to customer delivery starting, I couldn't help but feel something akin to secondhand embarrassment when looking at it. If Tesla feels comfortable showing this Cybertruck off, I don't think it bodes well for early customers. What do you think about the Cybertruck finishing? Please share your opinion in the comments section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next.